can start where others did. No head start, no open doors. Different ground beneath my feet, different lines on the floor. But the place you stand is just a place, not a verdict, not a cage. What matters more than where you're from is where you choose to aim. You can rise from anywhere if your eyes are set up there. It's not about where you begin or how far behind you seem. Success listens to the height of the dreams you dare to keep. Set your sights beyond the now. Let your goals pull you out the ground. You start on doesn't decide, it's how high you aim. I've seen people with perfect starts never lift their eyes at all. I've seen quiet ones look up and answer a higher call. Ambition isn't arrogance, it's a compass in your chest. If you choose a small horizon, you'll never see your best. The ladder isn't fate or chance, it's built by where you glance. It's not about where you begin or the map you didn't dig. Get a future bends toward the goals you refuse to let forget. Lift your vision, name it loud, let it lead you through the doubt. The place you stand won't hold you down, it's how high you aim. Aim high doesn't mean you won't fall, it means you won't settle at all. The climb may take a different time, but direction beats a starting line. Every step finds strength and truth when it's pulled by something huge. It's not about where you begin, it never was, it never will. Greatness grows from daring goals and the will to chase them still. Set your sights where courage lives, higher than your doubts can reach. Success doesn't ask where you came from, it asks how high you aim. Start anywhere, dream higher. That's how futures change.
Every dream arrives without a sound, like a quiet knock when no one's around. It doesn't promise an easy road, just shows you a way you're strong enough to hold. You don't receive what you can't become, you don't feel the call if you couldn't run. There's a reason it chose your name, there's a reason it lit that flame. Dreams don't come to watch you wait, they come to ask what you'll create. If you were given a dream to hold, you were given the strength to make it real. But it won't move just because you believe. It moves when you work, when you bleed. The power's there, it always was. But dreams are built by effort, Some nights doubt speaks louder than hope. Some days feel heavier than you can cope. But dreams were never meant to be light. They're meant to pull you into the fight. You don't earn them by wishing well. You earn them by rising when you fail. Every step you take in the dark is effort teaching your dream to start. Hope points the way, but effort walks. That's how visions learn to talk. If you were trusted with a dream this high, you were trusted with the will to try. But wanting isn't enough to stay. It's effort that clears the way. The gift was never just the dream. The gift was the strength to build the thing. Dreams don't lie, they don't pretend. They show you who you could be in the end. But only hands that choose to work turn possibility into worth. You don't prove yourself by the dream you see. You prove it by the days you keep. If a dream was placed inside your chest, it came with the power to pass the test. But it asked for sweat, it asked for time, it asked you to draw the line between wishing and becoming who you were always meant to grow into. So don't doubt the fire you feel. It's not there to stay unreal. Dreams are promises, it's true, but effort is how they come true.
If success was guaranteed, everyone would step ahead. If every try was paid in gold, no dream would be left unsaid. But the road I'm walking on doesn't promise anything. Just another day to choose if I still believe. It's easy to move when the light is green, harder when the sign won't speak. Anyone can try when unsure, when the finish line is close. But staying with the same fire when the outcome's still unknown, that's not luck, that's not blind faith. That's a strength you cultivate. To keep going without a sign is a talent of its own. There are days I question why I still give my best this way, when effort doesn't answer back, when hope feels far away. But quitting would be easier than carrying this flame, and yet I show up anyway. That's how I play the game. Motivation fades and rises, what remains is choice. Anyone can chase a certain But choosing to persist with heart is something only if you can do. If talent means staying alive inside when results refuse to shine, then continuing despite the doubt is the rarest gift in mine. Success may come or it may not, but the courage to continue, that was never guaranteed. And that is exactly why it matters.
Say you missed your moments somehow, that the best years are behind you now. Like dreams of dates they can't expire, like hearts forget how to desire. But I've seen sparks in tired eyes, I've seen hope wake up after time. Because becoming isn't about age, it's about turning the page. The past can talk, but it can't decide who you are on the other side. It's never too late to become who you were when you still believe before the world hurt. Time doesn't close the door on you, it waits for the moment you choose. No clock can tell you when to start, the future listens to your heart. Some people bloom when they're barely grown, some take the long way home. But every road that finally bends leads to the truth of who you've been. You don't erase the years you've lived, you use them all, you let them build the strength to stand and say out loud, I'm choosing me, starting now. You're not behind, you're not off track, you're just arriving with a heavier map. It's never too late to become who you are, not when you've come this far. Doubt may whisper, fear may stay, but they don't get the final say. Every breath you're given proves you still have something left to choose. What if the waiting wasn't wasted time? What if it shaped you line by line into someone brave enough to try without asking why now? Why this life? It's never too late to become who you see when you look ahead honestly. Not who you were, not who you've been, but who you choose to be again. As long as your heart can still create, you're never too late. So take the step you've been delaying. This moment's been patiently waiting. The life you want isn't out of reach, it's closer than you think.
Every sorrow finds its way into our lives without a name. Some arrive like sudden rain, some stay longer than we planned. We don't choose the tears we cry or the moments asking why, but nothing breaks us just to break. Even pain has something to say. Not all meaning shows its face, not all answers come on time. Some are hidden far from view, waiting quietly inside. Every sorrow means something, even when we can't see why. Sometimes it holds a meaning we'd never imagine in this life. No matter how heavy it feels, no matter how deep it goes, every sorrow is precious. That much I know. Some sadness changes who we are, softens edges, opens hearts. Some becomes a guiding star long after the night has passed. What feels wasted, what feels wrong, maybe shaping us all along. Pain doesn't come to steal our days, it comes to carve a deeper way. We don't need to rush the light, morning knows the time to rise. Every sorrow means something, even the ones we never choose. They carry truths we couldn't hold without walking through them too. Nothing you felt is in vain, nothing you've loved is lost. Every sorrow is precious, as certain as dawn. The sun doesn't ask the night if it's ready to be done. Still morning comes without fail, carrying the weight of one more day begun. Just like that, meaning finds its way, not because we force it, but because it stays. Every sorrow means something, even now, even here. Time will gently show the reason or the strength it planted there. Hold your sadness with care, don't rush it, don't deny it. Surely as the sun brings morning, your sorrow holds the truth alive. You don't have to understand it yet, you don't have to be strong today. Just know this, every sorrow is meaningful, and morning always comes.
The world doesn't pause when you do. It keeps on turning, asking who. We're eyes who'll stay where they've been, who'll grow, who'll settle in. Standing still feels safe somehow, but time keeps pulling anyhow. There's no middle ground to stay. You're either moving or you fade. Silence feels calm, but it lies. It's motion that keeps you alive. If you're not moving forward, you're falling behind. There's no standing still in Close your eyes, don't lower the aim. Set your purpose higher than yesterday. Progress isn't loud or kind, it's choosing growth every time. Some get tired and call it peace, some call comfort a kind of release, but comfort never changes the soul, it just makes the ceiling low. You weren't built to stay the same, you were built to stretch and strain, to reach beyond what feels secure and find out what you're really for. Fear says wait, doubt says slow, purpose is go. If you're not moving forward, you're losing ground. Even quiet days still count. So raise your goal, don't apologize. Aim higher than your current life. Growth begins the moment you choose to outgrow the version that's used. You don't need a sprint, just don't stand still. One honest step takes strength and will. Every day you choose to climb, you refuse to let side. If you're not moving forward, you drift away. This life demands a higher aim. Not tomorrow, not someday, but lifting your purpose today. Keep growing, keep your eyes aligned with something higher than the now you find. The world will keep moving on, with or without your name. So choose to rise, choose to go, and set your purpose high.
I met people standing in the storm, with nothing easy, nothing warm. Still they don't waste their breath on blame, or small regrets that burn like flame. They don't let little worries grow, don't chase what they can't control. They know when fear won't change a thing, and let it go like drifting leaves. They don't pretend the pain's not there. They just don't let it rule their care. The ones I truly admire the most don't panic when the road gets rough. They don't worry where worry is useless. They don't fight what's out of touch. They leave the rest to something higher and focus on the part inside. They tend their heart, they change their ways and start again from the ground up. When life collapses without a sound, they don't fall apart, they turn around. They ask themselves not who's to blame, but how do I rise a better way? They don't demand the world be fair, they don't surrender to despair. They polish what is theirs to keep, their thoughts, their actions, how they speak. They know some things are meant to bend, so they bend themselves instead. The ones I call genuinely strong don't chase the sky with what they can't and clean the ground where they still stand. They don't wait for life to change, they rebuild themselves from the root. Happiness isn't loud or bright, it doesn't shout, it doesn't fight, it lives in choices made each day in quiet courage, steady ways to start again, to heal the core, to be a little kinder than before. The happiest souls I've ever known aren't free from loss or troubled days. They simply choose a wiser focus when the world won't go their way. They give their faith to what they can't and give their effort to the rest. That's how a life is truly saved, by renewing the heart again and again. Not everything needs fixing, not everything needs fear. Do what you can, release the rest and begin again, right here.
They'll ask you what you're dreaming of, what keeps you standing when it's rough. Not how fast, not where you're from, just what you're reaching toward. You can walk without a map for years, still feel lost when the road is clear, because direction isn't drawn in lines, it's drawn in what you choose inside. If you know what you're living for, you won't fear unopened doors. If you know your dream, if you know your why, the way will open in its own time. You don't need every step in view, the road appears when you stay true. Hold your purpose, hold it tight, and paths will form before your eyes. Some wait for signs before they move, some need the end before the proof. But faith isn't seeing where you'll land, it's taking the step you understand. You won't have answers every day, you'll question every choice you make, but purpose has a steady sound, it keeps you moving forward now. You don't walk because the way is clear, the way clears because you're here. If you know your dream, if you know your aim, you won't be ruled by doubt or rain. Storms may come, nights may stay, but they won't take your why away. Stand by what you believe, and roads will rise beneath your feet. Before the doors, before the signs, before the stars begin to align, there's a quiet truth you choose to keep. That truth is what the future needs. When the world asks, who will you be? Your answer is the key. If you know your dream, if you know your why, no wall can stop the passing time. You don't chase paths already made, you walk and they are shaped. Purpose first, the rest will come, that's how every journey's won. So ask yourself and answer true, what are you walking toward and who? If you hold that vision through, the road will find its way to you. Way to you.
means I won't deny. The world has made its bets already. Said my chances aren't that steady, but I didn't come this far to quit or lay my heart down piece by piece. Even if the script says I lose, I still get to choose how I move. This isn't about the final score. It's about what I'm standing for. Even if my life's a losing fight, I'll raise my hands and stand upright. I won't run just because I know the ending might not favor me. I don't need the wind to prove my worth. I need the truth of how I lived. If this is where my story bends, I'll fight with honor to the end. I've seen people save their pride by walking away before they tried. They call it wisdom, call it grace, but I can't leave this battlefield. There's something louder than the fear, something stronger than the cost. I need to know I stayed myself, no matter what the outcome was. I'd rather fall with open eyes than live my life half alive. Even if the victory's not mine, I won't betray this heart of mine. I'll take the hit, I'll take the pain, if it means I stood my ground. Some battles aren't about the crown, they're about not backing down. If I'm remembered by one thing, let it be this: I didn't quit. Maybe courage isn't winning at all, maybe it's answering the call when you know the cost is high and still you choose to try. The world can keep its final say. I'll keep my soul along the way. Even if my life's a losing war, I'll give it everything I've got. I won't measure truth by who survives, but by how honestly I fight. When the lights go out, when it all ends, I'll know who I was back then. Win or lose, this much is true: I fought my fight all the way through. I don't fight to be remembered, I fight so I can live with myself. Even if I lose, I stand.
I've seen people ashamed of where they stand, counting steps from a broken plan. They whisper where they started from, like that decides what they'll become. But beginnings don't carry weight, they don't seal your future's fate. It's not the ground beneath your feet, it's where your eyes are set to meet. No one's judged by the first page, only by the dream they choose to chase. It's not about where you start today, it's how high you're brave enough to aim. Low ground, high hope, that's how it goes. You'll reach to defines the road. Success isn't born from where you've been, it's born from the height you believe in. Some begin miles ahead in life, some start late in the dead of night. But distance fades when vision's clear, when something bigger pulls you near. You can rise from the smallest place if your target's set above the haze, because steps grow longer when you know what you're reaching for. The climb feels steep for those who stare, but not for those who aim up there. It's not about where you start the race, it's the height of the goal you chase. Slow or fast, ahead or behind your aim, redraws the line. Success doesn't care about your name, only how high you're willing to aim. Don't lower the dream to match the floor, raise your sight and build for more. History never asks how you begin, it asks how far you plan. So stand where you are, don't apologize. Lift your goal beyond the sky. The ground you're on won't hold you down if your vision's higher than now. It was never the start that decided your way, it was how high you dared to aim. One step, one breath, one clearer view. The future bends to what you choose. Aim higher than here and walk into it.
You don't have to turn around, there's nothing there that holds you now. What's done is done, what's said is gone. The past can't pull you back alone. You've learned enough, you've paid your dues. You don't owe yesterday the truth. Every breath you take instead is pointing where you're meant to head. You find tomorrow by staring at before. You don't need to look behind, there's nothing that you have to find in front of you. The road unfolds more past than you could ever know. Step by step the world appears, new chances louder than old fears. Don't turn back, don't slow your heart, there are endless roads ahead of you. I know the past can call your name, dress regret up as a warning sign, but every door you didn't choose doesn't close the ones in front of you. The map is drawn in moving feet, not in what used to be. You don't need proof, you don't need grace, just choose a forward-facing place. The future isn't something found, it's built the moment you step out. You don't need to look behind, your story's not defined by time ahead of you. The sky is wide, more than one way to rise. Every turn is still your own, every road can lead you home. Don't turn back, You don't need to look behind. What's waiting there won't change your mind. In front of you, the light expands. More directions than plans. Walk forward even unsure. That's how roads become yours. No matter where you choose to start, there are endless roads ahead. Don't look back, not because it didn't matter, but because everything you need is still in front of you.
They keep asking how long it'll take, as if there's a deadline on becoming great. But roads aren't built for racing feet. They're drawn by where your heart wants to be. And some days move like a passing train, and some nights feel stuck in the pouring rain. Still every step is part of the way, if you know what you're walking toward. Speed is loud and direction's quiet, but it's the quiet voice that guides us. It doesn't matter how long it takes, if you know the aim you won't break. Years can pass, seasons change, but time was never the price you pay. What matters most, the simple truth, is having a goal pulling you through. I've seen fast lives end up lost, and slow ones find what they want, because moving quick without a why is just running in a circle at night. You don't know the world your pace, you owe your heart an honest face. If the path feels long and steep, it means the goal is worth the keep. Don't trade purpose for the clock. Progress isn't measured in blood. It doesn't matter how long it takes, if your compass points the same way. You can crawl, you can fall behind, still arrive in your own time. What matters more than speed or proof is holding on to what you choose. Every dream has a different stride. Some take years just to come alive, but nothing real was built in haste. It was built by those who stayed. So let the hours do what they do. They can't decide the end for you. Long or short, hard or slow, the goal is what makes you go. It never mattered how long it takes. What matters is the aim you make. When you finally reach that place, you won't remember the waiting days, only that you knew your way and you kept it.
You don't have to solve it all tonight. You don't need the perfect line. Every thought feels heavy now when you keep the curtains down. You've been staring at the dark too long, wondering where you went wrong. But maybe life's not asking why, maybe it's asking you to try. When everything feels tight inside, there's one small thing you can decide. Don't make life harder than it has to be. If it's dark inside, let the light come in. Open the window, breathe it in. You'll see the air is different. You don't need answers right away. Just let a little sunshine stay. When the room feels heavy somehow, just open the window right now. takes the years. Sometimes clarity doesn't come from thinking harder, holding on like doesn't argue, doesn't fight. It only shows you what's inside. One small change, one simple move can shift the way the world feels to you. You don't have to understand the storm to feel the morning warm. Don't make life heavier in your head. If the room feels closed, let it open instead. Open the window, let it shine. Let the day remind you you're alive. It's okay if you don't know how. You don't have to figure it out. When the night feels too long somehow, just open the window right now. Light doesn't promise everything's fine. It just gives you another line, another breath, another view, another way to walk this through. You don't need a master plan, just a moment where you stand. Life doesn't need to be so hard. Not every shadow leaves a scar. Open the window, let it show there's more than what you know. One step, one breath, one honest sound. That's how the way comes down. If it's dark, don't break it down. Just open the window and let the light in. Less thinking, more breathing. If it's dark, you know what to do. Open the window. Open the window.
I've seen people breathe but not feel alive, moving through days just to pass the time. They smile on cue, they play their part, but something's missing their heart. You can survive on habit and sound, but sooner or later you break it down, because living's more than staying here. It's needing something to hold you near. You can't walk forever without a sign. Even the strongest needs a why. We can't live just because we're here. We need a reason that pulls us near, something that holds when the nights get long, something that tells us we belong. Breathing alone won't see us through. Life needs a reason to move. Hey, some find it in a face they love, some in a dream they won't give up, some in the promise they made one day when quitting felt easier than staying. You don't choose it to look strong, you choose it to keep going on when nothing's clear and hope feels thin. That reason is what keeps you in. Time won't tell you who to be, it waits for what you believe. We can't live just by counting years. We need a reason louder than fear. And not every answer comes heaven starts when you decide what makes you stay alive. When the noise fades and the crowd is gone and you're alone with the dark till dawn, you don't ask how far you've been, and you ask what you're living in. No reason, and the road feels thin. One reason, and you begin again. We're not built to drift or pretend. We're built to live for something real. Not every reason saves the day, but without one we fade away. So hold on to what feels true. That's the reason carrying you. You don't need a perfect plan, just a reason you understand. Because living isn't passing time, it's choosing why.
I know one day I'll fade from view. Every name, like every truth. Not in fear, not in despair, just a fact that's always there. When I remember time runs out, the noise inside begins to quiet down. Suddenly the weight I wore doesn't weigh me anymore. What I thought I had to keep, what I thought I had to be, falls away when I can see what really matters to me. If I know this life won't last forever, then what am I so afraid of now? Remembering I'll lose it all someday shows me I have nothing left to lose somehow. Fear gets smaller, truth gets loud when I see this moment clearly now. Knowing I will die one day is the reason I finally live today. I've chased approval, played it safe, held my breath, delayed my faith. But when the end steps into view, the courage I need feels simple and true. I save words I need to say. Why wait for some better day? If everything is temporary, then honesty is necessary. When the future isn't guaranteed, I stop bargaining with fear. I choose what feels alive to me right here. If I know this life will end someday, then silence costs me more than pain. Remembering I'll leave it all behind breaks the chains around my mind. Nothing to protect, nothing to hide, nothing but this beating heart inside. Knowing I will die one day is the truth that sets me free. Death doesn't steal the meaning from life, it gives it shape, it gives it light. Every risk becomes more real, every moment more to feel. I don't need to live without fear, I just don't let it steer. Because I know this life is finite, Stop postponing who I am. When everything can disappear, what's left is what I choose to stand for. I speak, I try, I love, I move. I stop pretending I have something to lose. Remembering I'll die one day is the best reminder to live my way. Teaches me how to live right now. Right now.
They ask who'll build a life someday, if it's luck or time or what you save. But I've seen empty hands make something real in crowded rooms where nothing's felt. You can have the world laid at your feet, still feel lost when you fall asleep. Because tomorrow doesn't come from things, it comes from what your heart believes. The future isn't found or given, it's imagined, then it's driven. There's nothing that creates tomorrow, nothing that pulls the future through. No map, no promise, no borrowed hope, like a dream inside of you. Time won't shape what you'll become, chance won't tell you what to do. Dreams are the only hands that build the life that's waiting for you. Some people move but never choose. Some stay busy just to lose. They chase results, they count the days, but never ask what they're aiming at. A future doesn't grow by chance, it needs a reason, needs a stand. Something strong enough to stay when comfort begs you walk away. The world reacts, it doesn't leave. Follows what you dare to dream. There's nothing that creates tomorrow, nothing that shapes what's coming true. No past, no fear, no guarantee, like a dream you're holding to. The road ahead won't build itself, waiting won't make it new. Dreams are the only force that turns a life into a future you choose. Before the plans, before the proof, before the scars, before the truth, there was a picture in your mind saying, this could be your life. Every future ever born started there, quiet and warm, and someone brave enough to say, I'll live for this, not drift away. There's nothing else that makes a future, nothing else that sees you through. Not the years, not the rules, not the voices trying to quiet you. When the world asks who you'll be and the answers feel untrue, remember dreams are how tomorrow's made, and it starts with you. So hold it close, don't let it fade. Dreams don't wait to be explained, they ask one thing simple and true: will you build the future you once dreamed into view?
It's easy to step in when the ending's clear, when the crowd already knows who wins. To raise your hand when the odds are fair and call it bravery then. But I've seen fear dress up as sense, call itself being wise. Only fighting battles you can't lose is how the spirit hides. Real courage doesn't ask for proof, it doesn't wait for guarantees. It shows up when the cost is known and still says, this is me. Cowards only fight when they know they'll win, when the ground is safe, when the light is dim. But I pray for the courage to stand my ground, even when defeat is all around. Because some losses carry more truth, more meaning than an easy proof. There are battles worth the pain, where losing still means I stayed the same. I've walked away to save my name, called it calm, called it control. But every time I chose the safe road, I felt it cost my soul. Not every fight is meant to crown, not every stand is meant to shine. Some are taken so you can look yourself in the eyes afterward. Winning isn't always the test, sometimes it's choosing not to bend. Sometimes the bravest thing you do is lose without regret. Cowards only fight when the end looks kind, when the risk is low, when the stars align. But give me the nerve to raise my voice when silence would be the easy choice. Because some defeats are still a win if I don't betray what's deep within. There are battles worth the fall, where losing proves I stood up tall. History won't remember every score, but it remembers who walked into the storm. Not the ones who played it safe, but the ones who chose to face what they knew they couldn't beat and fought anyway. I don't need the crown or the proof, I don't need the world's approval. I need the courage to take the fight, even when I know I might lose it all. Because some victories aren't won, they're earned by the stand you've done. There are losses worth the name, when defeat still means I was brave. Let them count the wins, I'll count the moments I didn't run. Because some fights are worth everything, even the loss.
They'll write down the places you've been, the nights you lost, the days you win. They'll count the years, the scars, the names, but none of that explains a life. You can drift through 1,000 doors, still not know what you're moving for. History remembers the sound, but purpose decides what it meant. It's not the road that made you stay, it's the reason you chose the way. In a lifetime, written one step at a time, the most important line is not what happened or what you endured, but what you were walking toward. When the noise fades and stories end, one truth still stands: a life is defined by the aim you chose, not the wind that pushed you there. Some chase motion, some chase light, some run hard just to feel alive. But movement without a why leaves nothing when the dust goes quiet. You don't need a perfect plan, just a reason you understand. Something strong enough to stay when everything else walks away. Time will take what it always does, but it can't touch your purpose. In a lifetime shaped by fall and climb, the measure isn't time. It's not the glory or the wounds you bear, it's what you were aiming there. When the final page is read aloud above the crowd, a life is known by the goal it served, not the praise or the doubt. Storms will blur the shoreline view, success won't tell you who you are, only the reason you return to when you're tired, alone and far. When history looks you in the eye, it won't ask how or why. It will ask what you lived to prove, what you believed was true. Because a life, however long it goes, is finally exposed by the purpose that held your soul in the direction you chose. Long after moments disappear and years fall silent in the dark, what remains is simple and clear, what you aimed for from the start.
Okay if you're moving slow, if the road feels long to you. You don't have to race the world or prove what you can do. Every step you take still counts, even small ones move the ground. There's no rule that says you're late just because you chose your pace. The only thing that really matters now is where your feet are facing. It doesn't matter how slowly you go, as long as you're facing ahead with your own 2 feet, your own heartbeat on the path that you choose instead. Don't borrow someone else's speed, don't walk a borrowed plan, just keep moving forward. Honestly, this is your life, your way. Some days you walk, some days you rest, some days you question all your steps, but standing still because of fear is heavier than moving here. You don't need to see the end, you don't need to know what's next. All you need is this one truth: the road appears beneath you. Looking forward doesn't mean you're strong, it means you're still choosing to go on. It doesn't matter how slowly till paths go far. You're not behind, you're not wrong, you're exactly where you are. The courage isn't running fast, it's trusting your feet to last. So take your time, it's all okay. Slow progress still moves ahead. As long as you're walking with your heart, there's nothing left unsaid. Face forward, stand your ground, let your pace be what it is. No matter how long the journey takes, you're living your forward on your own 2 feet.
Windows the same on every shore. No one gets a different storm. Some drift closer to the rising sun. Some fade where the daylight's done. 2 ships leave from the same old bay. Same sky above, same kind of day. Still one arrives, one goes astray, and people wonder why. It's never the wind that decides the way. It's how you face it when it starts to play. The wind can't choose when you will go. It only blows east or west, high or low. It's the sail you set, the heart you hold. Calm or storm, dark or bright, your direction's born inside. Life's not ruled by what do you feel, but how you steer and what you believe. Some aim the ways when they're off course. Some wait for seas without force. But oceans were never meant to be still. They test the hand upon the wheel. The quiet day won't move you far. A wild night shows you who you are. Neither peace nor thunder decides what you become on the other side. The sea doesn't promise a gentle ride. It asks what you'll do with the tide. The wind can't choose where you will go. It only blows, strong or slow, friend or foe. It's the sail you raise, the will you show, not the calm, not the storm you face, but the mindset you embrace. Life's course isn't chance or fate. It's the angle of your fate. When the waves are high and hope feels thin, look within, look within. Storms don't end the journey's worth. They reveal what the journey is for. The wind will doesn't care who you were. East or west is yours to claim by how you set your sail. Neither silence nor the roar gets the final word in this life we navigate by the way we choose to fade. So let the wind do what it will. You decide the direction still. In the end, there's open blue. The sail is you.
Don't dig into yesterday, it turns to anger anyway. Why did I do it like that? That road just pulls you back. Don't run too far ahead in time. What if I fall? What if I'm fine? The future loves to shake your ground with worry spinning all around. Past gets heavy, future shakes. Both will steal what this moment makes. There's only one place breathing now. It's right here, right now. Don't live behind, don't live ahead. Give your life to where you stand. One place, one breath, one honest try. Put your whole heart in the now. When we live right here, right now, everything wakes up somehow. Stay present, stay alive. This is where we start to shine. I've seen people lose their fire, thinking too much, reaching too far. Regret pulls hard, fear pulls fast. Both make today disappear. But life only happens here, not in then, and not in here. If I give this moment my all, that's where miracles call. No replay, no rewind, no guarantee, no perfect sign. Just a second loud and clear, asking me to be here. Don't live behind, don't live ahead. Place your soul where your feet are set. One task, one dream, one focus, shout. Pour your whole life in the now. When we live right here, right now, even ordinary days light up. No fear, no freeze, no doubt. This is how we come alive. Past is a lesson, not a home. Future's a guess, not a throne. If I split my heart in three, I'd lose the only place I can be. So I choose this breath, this place, this sweat, this moment, this face. I won't drown in yesterday, I won't borrow fear from tomorrow's pain. I give my life to what I do now, right here without a doubt. One moment fully lived is stronger than 1,000 what ifs. Stay here, stay true, stay loud. This is how we live it out. Not yesterday, not someday, today. Put your life right here and watch everything start to move.
people pray for lighter days, for softer nights, for easier ways. But the ones who walk with open eyes know nothing real is born that kind. Every dream asks for a price, not money but your sleepless nights, the courage to feel every scar and still believe in who you are. If you're willing to hurt and stay, you're already halfway. If you can carry the weight of the pain, oh, every sorrow and still remain. If you believe the cost is fair, you can build what wasn't there. Those who choose to feel it all are the ones who made the call in me. Some walk away when it gets too deep, some turn numb just to sleep. But there's a fire in the ones who stay, who know creation needs a flame. They don't wait for doors to open wide, they build a frame from the inside. It's shakings with breaking hearts, they turn their wounds into a start. It's not strength if you don't ache, it's the ache that makes it take shape. If you can carry the weight of the pain, all the quiet grief fall astray. If you accept the nights that bleed, you can create what you truly need. Those who bear the hardest load are the ones who shape their own road. Suffering isn't the enemy, running from it is what steals your dreams. When you choose to stand inside the storm, you give your future a form. If you can carry the weight and stay, hold the sorrow, don't look away. If you believe it's worth the cost, you'll create what you thought was lost. The ones who dare to feel the most are the ones who give life a soul. So don't fear the weight you feel, it's the proof your hands are real. What you're willing to endure and face is what you one day create.
Have you ever seen a broken horse staring down at the ground in shame? Have you ever seen a lonely bird pretend it's doing fine? They don't hide behind a painted smile, they don't dress their fear in pride. They live exactly as they are, no audience in mind. They don't ask if they look strong, they don't worry if they're wrong. They don't act for anyone, they just belong. Have you seen a sad horse, a fallen bird trying hard to look impressive? They don't suffer the way we do, they don't fake, they don't pretend. They don't measure worth by how they seem, they don't perform, they don't compete. They stay free because they never tried to look good in someone else's eyes. We learn early how to wear a face, how to keep it all together. We practice lines we never feel, call it being clever. We carry weight that isn't real, just expectations we defend. Trying so hard to look okay is how the hurt begins. Nature doesn't ask for praise, it doesn't chase approval. It breathes, it moves, it lives its truth, and that's its miracle. Have you seen a sad horse, a broken wing, hiding pain for admiration? They don't suffer like humans do, they don't live for validation. They don't trade their peace for show, they don't act for eyes they don't know. They stay whole because they never try to look right all the time. Maybe happiness is simple then, not being watched, not being judged, not proving strength, not chasing worth, just being enough as you are. What if freedom isn't something found, but something we stop giving away? I don't need to look perfect anymore, I don't need to play a role, I don't need to shine for everyone at the cost of my own soul. Like the horse, like the bird in flight, I live without a stage or light. I won't be unhappy trying to be someone impressive, I'll just be me. No applause, no disguise, just a life that feels true.
Hey. Some days start already behind. Wrong place, wrong time. You didn't choose the cards you drew. Still the day is asking something from you. Rain falls on the careful and the brave, and no one gets spared. You can curse the sky, you can close your eyes, or take one step even soaked and tired. Love comes and goes without a sound, but effort stays when nothing's around. Bad luck won't move just because you pray. It breaks when you push through anyway. You can't outwait it, you can't outrun. The only thing stronger is what you've done. When fate hits hard and pulls you down, effort is what pulls you out. Some people get a head start line, some get storms, some get sunshine. But the distance isn't what decides, it's who keeps walking through the night. You don't need a perfect day, just a reason not to walk away. Every scar you earn on the way is proof you stayed. Luck never asks works if you're prepared. Effort shows up because you care. Bad luck doesn't bend to hope, it bends to hands that don't let go. You may fall, you may lose ground, but effort builds you inch by inch back up. When the world feels unfair and loud, effort is the way out. You won't always win the fight, you won't always see the light, but every time you choose to try, you deny bad luck the final line. Bad luck can shake you, leave you bruised, but it can't touch what you refuse to lose. Not talent, not chance, not timing or fate, only effort decides who stays. When nothing goes the way you planned, effort is what still stands. Luck fades fast like passing weather, effort stays, it holds you together. When everything else falls apart, it's the work you did that guards your heart.
I've learned to trust the hands I meet, the words they say, the paths they see. I know that hope is something shared, that kindness grows when we care. I listen close, I try to learn, I let advice, habits turn. But when the voices fade away, one voice is left for me to face. Others can guide, others can stay, but they can't walk my steps my way. Believe in people, let them shine, let their truth walk next to mine. But when the road is dark and long, I trust myself to carry on. I hear the world, I take it in, but my heart decides in the end. I value trust in all I see, but I believe in myself more. I've seen opinions come and go, change with time, rise and fall. I've seen promises drift away when fear had more to say. Still I don't regret believing first. That's how we heal, that's how we learn. But when the choice is truly mine, I won't leave my faith behind. Support can lift me when I'm low, but I'm the one who has to go. Believe in people, give them room, let them grow and change their view. But when the moment calls my name, I trust myself to choose my way. I respect the world, I really do, but I stay honest, I stay true. I won't abandon what I see. I believe in myself more, not because I never doubt, not because I figured it out, but because I'm still here when things fall apart, standing guard over my heart. When everyone has said their part, self-belief is where I start. Believe in people, share the light, walk together through the night. But when the final step is mine, I trust the strength I feel inside. I welcome help, I welcome love, but I won't give my power up. I choose trust carefully and free, and 100 is the one we hold in ourselves.
Don't get too comfortable standing still. Easy days never test your will. Every moment's asking something new. Not perfection, just the best of you. You don't need to win every fight. You don't need to always be right. Just show up fully, heart exposed. That's the part nobody knows. If you walk away knowing you tried, there's nothing left to hide. Don't settle for half of who you are. Give it everything you've got. If you fall or if you rise, you'll feel it deep inside. Success or failure, it's all the same. If you left it all on the flame, we're meant to live, not just survive. Giving our best while we're alive. Some days end without a win. Some nights doubt creeps under your skin. But regret comes from holding back, not from walking the harder track. The world will measure, count the score, but that's not what your heart's for. It wants to know when the day is done, did you become who you could have been? Not run. It's not the outcome you defend, it's the effort till the end. Don't settle for half of who you are. Give it everything you've got. Even if the moment breaks, you'll know the choice you made. Winning or losing fades with time, but giving your all never lies. We're built to burn, to feel alive. By giving our best, not just getting by. There's a deeper strength inside your chest that only shows when you give your best. Not when it's safe, not when it's planned, but when you stand with open hands. So don't shrink down, don't play it small. This life is asking for your all. Whatever the ending turns out to be, you'll stand in truth and certainty that you live the way you knew was right. With every ounce of your inner light, when the lights go out and silence stays, you'll remember the way you played. Not the score, not the applause, but that you answered life's call.
I've rehearsed the ending in my head, every way this could go bad. Built disasters out of doubt before the door was even found. I braced myself for something worse, carried fear like it was sure. But the night passed, the morning came, nothing broke the way I'd claimed. I learned the pain I felt the most wasn't what happened, it was what I wrote in my mind before it began, before the truth had a chance. In the end, the worst never comes, it lives in thoughts we hold too long. Most of the hurt I've ever known was built from from what I feared alone. I suffer more from what I expect than from what actually happens next. The tragedy I tried to outrun is born the moment I imagine one. I've watched the future turn its face, not as cruel as I'd portrayed. The storms I named, the falls I planned, dissolved when life took my hand. What if I stopped predicting pain, stopped assuming loss is fate? What if peace is closer than the stories fear keeps telling me? I don't need to fight tomorrow yet, I don't need to borrow regret. This moment hasn't failed me now, so why punish it? In the end, the worst never comes. It fades when I loosen my grip. I trip over shadows of what ifs, not the ground beneath my feet. Most disasters never arrive, they stay in worried minds. The sadness I keep running from starts the second I expect it to. Fear calls itself preparation, but it's just imagination. It steals the present bit by bit for futures that never exist. I don't gain strength by staying tense, I gain it by trusting the next step. In the end, the worst never comes. Life rarely follows fear's commands. I choose to live what's actually here, not the pain I manufacture. I let go of borrowed sorrow. I meet tomorrow when it shows. The unhappiest moments I've known were never real, they were only what I expected. Nothing terrible is happening now, nothing is broken somehow. I breathe, I stay, I let it be, and peace returns to me.
They keep saying life begins someday, when the lights are bright, when the bills are paid. But I've been standing right here all alone, with my hands full of an unfinished song. This room isn't small, if I breathe it in, this moment's enough. If I dive right in, I don't need a stage or a better view, I just need to do what I'm doing true. If I'm here, then here's the place. If it's mine, then I set the pace. The secret to living isn't running away, it's giving your all to today. Whatever you're holding, whatever you try, don't call it work, call it play. Life opens up when you stay, play where you stand, right now, today. Some call it a job, some call it a grind, I call it a game that's teaching my mind. Every mistake, every wasted move is a part of learning how to move. I'm not waiting for the perfect time, I'm not drawing a separating line between who I am and what I do. If I'm alive, I'm in the game too. Joy doesn't wait at the finish line, it shows up when you lose track of time. The secret to living isn't something you save, it's how you show up every day. Put your heart in the middle of what you do. Don't call it work, call it play. Happiness isn't delayed, it's found when you're fully engaged. If you're tired but smiling somehow, if you forget the clock right now, that's not luck, that's the sign you're living instead of passing time. The secret to living is simple and true. Be here, give everything you do. This moment is asking for all your weight. Don't call it work, call it play. Life doesn't wait for someday, it starts when you play where you stand. So wherever you are, stay. This is the game, and you're already in play.
About the final day, not in fear but in a quiet way. What would I see if time stood still? If my life became a memory reel, would it be all the things that went wrong, the words I swallowed, the roads I didn't walk on? Would my heart feel heavy and small, remembering I never tried at all? Story told by chances lost or choices cold. I don't want regret to be the loudest voice inside of me. If I have to look back at my life someday, I don't want pain to lead the way. I don't want to count the risk I ran from or the love I never became. I want to remember that I lived, that I dared, that I gave, that I did, because a life recalled with only regret is a sorrow I don't want to accept. It's not the failures that scare me most, it's the moments I almost chose, the chances waiting just one more day until courage quietly slipped away. I've seen how easy it is to wait, to call fear being realistic, but waiting has a cost of its own, and time doesn't give refunds. I don't need perfection or a plan, I just need to say I can. I'd rather fall and understand than never leave where I stand. If I have to look back at my life someday, I want warmth, not just what ifs and maybes. I don't want my memories filled with escape, or all the times I turned away. I wanna know I showed my heart even when it broke apart, because a life remembered only by fear is a future I won't build from here. Maybe the real tragedy isn't losing, it's not choosing, not the scars, but the silence, not the pain, but the absence. If this moment is all I know, then this moment is where I grow. So when I look back at my life someday, let it be honest in every way. Not perfect, not easy, not without tears, but full of meaning, love and years well used. I don't need a life without mistakes, I need a life I didn't waste, because remembering only forget. I don't live to avoid the end. I live so that when it comes I can say I was here. I chose, I lived.
I used to think happiness was rest, a quiet life, a softer test. But every time I tried to stay still, my heart felt empty, standing still. It wasn't the nights when nothing hurt, it was the mornings where I showed up first. Hands tired, mind unsure, still knocking on the same closed door. Strange how peace doesn't come from ease, it comes from doing what you believe. Happiness isn't found in letting go, it's in the way you choose to hold. It's the tired eyes, a steady breath, knowing you gave your honest best. Real fulfillment isn't free, it's earned through effort quietly. Some days the progress feels too small, some nights I question it all. But even doubt can't take away the meaning in another day. I've learned joy doesn't shout or shine, it grows slow, one step at a time. Not in the things I almost tried, but in the work I didn't hide. The world calls comfort a perfect life, but comfort never felt alive. Happiness isn't found in letting go, it's in the way you choose to hold. It's the long road, the open scars, knowing exactly who you are. Real fulfillment lives inside the effort you don't compromise. If it costs you sweat, if it costs you fear, if it asks for more year after year, it doesn't mean you're doing it wrong, it means you're building something strong. Happiness isn't luck or chance, staying true when you had the chance to bend. It's not the peak or the applause, it's knowing why you walk this path. True fulfillment quietly stays in the life you earn day by day. So if your heart feels heavy but full, if you're tired but standing tall, the weight you carry isn't pain, it's proof you're living it all.
I used to count the things I learned, every skill, every turn, check the boxes, chase the score. always thinking there was more. I got better, faster, strong, but something felt a little wrong. I knew so much, I could do a lot, still asking myself what I forgot. Then I noticed what time had shown. It wasn't what I mastered alone. A good life isn't learning more things to do, it's finding more things to enjoy too. Not just getting better, not just growing tall, but laughing easier through it all. I don't measure life by how much I can, but by how much joy I understand. The richest days I've ever known are filled with things I love to do. I've seen people sharp and wise, still tied behind their eyes. I've seen simple moments shine, turn ordinary into gold with time. Joy doesn't ask for talent or rank, it shows up quiet, small and blank, in coffee breaks and open skies, and songs that make the hours fly. Progress isn't always skill, sometimes it's learning how to feel. A good life isn't proving who you are, stacking wins like a scorecard. It's letting yourself enjoy the ride, not racing past your own life. I don't need to be good at everything, I just need more reasons to sing. A better life is simply this: more moments I don't wanna miss. I don't wanna end up knowing all, but forgetting how to feel at all. If growth means losing wonder inside, that's not the kind I want in my life. So I choose the things that make me stay, not just impress, but light my way. A good life grows in quieter ways, and smiles that stretch across the day. Not more abilities to claim, but more joy calling my name. If I can look back and truly say I enjoyed most of my days, then I lived a life that counts, not by what I did, but by what I enjoyed. I don't need to do more, I don't need to prove more, I just need to enjoy a little more, and let that be enough.
For the ones who wake up knowing who they are, no backup plans, no wishing on a star. You don't ask if the road is fair or kind, you just tie your shoes and fall in line. It's not bravery if you hesitate, it's just the way you're built, the way you're made. When you live with a fire you won't deny, effort ain't a choice, it's the air you breathe to survive. You don't want other if you give it your all, you already did before the question falls. For a heart that's set and won't pretend, trying is an option, oh that's who you've been. You don't wait for motivation, trying is an option, oh that's who you've been. Motivation to appear, you move even when the path's unclear. No applause when the lights are low, still you show up, still you go. Some call it hard, some call it pain, you just call it another day. When you live with a fire Effort ain't a choice, it's how you stay alive. Yeah, you may never own a crown or a throne, but you'll never say you left it unknown. For a life you chose with open eyes, effort isn't extra, it's a price. So keep moving, even tired and worn. Some people are driven, some people are born sworn.
Most people already know the truth, buried somewhere deep and quiet. It shows up in the in-between, in moments we try to silence, a pull we feel but don't explain, a name we're scared to say. We call it doubt, we call it noise, but it's the heart trying to make a choice. It doesn't shout, it doesn't fight, it waits for us to stop and listen. The answer isn't hard to find, it's just easy to ignore. Deep down we know what we truly want. It's written under all the thoughts. Life doesn't hand us goals and signs, it whispers through intuition. The only guide that never lies, the quiet voice we leave behind. We don't get lost because it's gone, we get lost when we don't listen. We ask the world what we should be, collect opinions endlessly. We trade our instincts for approval, call it being reasonable. But every time we look outside, that voice inside gets left behind. Not because it fades away, because we choose not to stay. It's patient even when denied, it waits through every compromise, still pointing where we're meant to go. If we slow down enough to know, deep down we know what we truly want. Before the fear, before the cost, the path appears when we align with that inner direction. It's not loud, it's not a sign, it's a feeling that feels like mine. We don't lack answers, we just resist that voice we should trust. Intuition doesn't promise ease, it promises honesty. It won't protect us from the fall, but it will show us where we belong. The moment we stop asking who should I be and start asking what feels true to me, the noise dissolves, the way is clear. That's when the path appears. We already know what we're meant to do, it's been waiting patiently in you. Life's direction isn't taught or given, it's remembered through intuition. If we dare to listen and begin to trust, the pull we feel within, the goal reveals itself in time. It was always inside, the world can offer endless views, but none of them are yours to choose. Your life doesn't need more advice, it needs you to listen to the voice inside. I've stood under the brightest lights, heard my name echo through the night, smiles flashing, hands in the air, Everyone says I made it there, but when the noise begins to fade, I'm left alone with what I played, a role that fit the crowd just fine, but never felt like mine. They see the version that wins the room, they don't hear the quiet truth, and I can't trade my inner voice for outside proof. You can cheer for me all day long, fill the room with applause and songs, but if I don't feel like myself inside, none of it feels right. Fame can shine, praise can roar, but I need something more. If I'm not living honestly, then applause means nothing to me. Chased approval like a goal, try to measure up, play the role. I learned the lines, I hit the marks, but lost the sound of my own heart. Success looks perfect from the crowd, but silence tells the truth out loud. If I don't recognize my face, what did I really gain? I don't want a life that looks complete if it costs the core of me. I'd rather walk a quiet road that feels like home. You can clap until your hands are sore, say I'm everything you hope for, but if my soul feels out of place, it's all a waste. I don't live for borrowed praise or for keeping up appearances. If I'm not living honestly, then applause means nothing to me. What's the point of being seen if I'm invisible to me? I don't need the world to agree. I need peace in my own skin. When the curtains fall at night, I wanna know I chose my life. Let them cheer, let them decide what they think of my design. I won't trade my truth away for one more shout, one more stage. I choose a life that I can feel, one that's quiet, raw and real. If I'm not living honestly, then applause means nothing to me. When the lights go down and the crowd moves on, all that matters is this: did I live as myself or just for the sound of applause?